there has to be massive electricity in the stadium. I think that's going to happen. We've got the 95 team coming back to celebrate their 30 years, greatest team in college football history. There's going to be a lot of pregame fanfare for that. The stadium's going to be absolutely juiced. As Matt already talked about, Oklahoma punched them in the mouth, and they couldn't do anything the rest of the game. We have to have a Tommy Hill pick six from the 10-yard line type of punch-you-in-the-mouth moment that makes the crowd go absolutely insane. And watch whether or not Michigan, who's missing their head coach, who's missing all of the major coaching pieces from that national championship game 2 years ago, if they can put it back together in probably one of the biggest environments they're going to play in this year.
45, 40, 35, 40, he's going to go! It's time people feel it!
Big Red Junkies.
Day by day, he gets better and better! He gets better and better! Team is KPB! If we die, we die!
Man, woman, and child in that. Put him in the aisle.
Bring that trophy back to Lincoln!
It is officially Michigan Hate Week.
Fuck Michigan week.
Fuck Michigan Week. I said it wrong. I messed it all up.
Alex, if you're listening, I'm really sorry.
You put the hate part in there. It's okay.
Welcome into this episode of the Big Red Junkies. I'm BJ. This is Jed. This is Matt. We all collectively hate Michigan. If you're a Michigan fan tuning in, we appreciate you. Please drop a like or a thumbs down. Either way, it helps the algorithm.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Fuck off.
And tell us how bad you're going to beat our asses this week.
Yeah, good luck, bitch.
Please, if you are able to make it through the whole show, follow along. Drop your suggestions, your comments, your likes in the comments down below. Tell us how stupid we are. Tell us how smart we are. If you stick around to the end, drop your props. Jed likes to throw those in on the counts at the end of the show.
And if you are a Michigan fan and you're watching this on YouTube specifically, get a friend to be able to read my shirt because obviously I know you can't. So
Jed loves Michigan.
Jed loves
Michigan.
This is his favorite show of the year, I think.
Oh God.
Colorado was a good replacement last year.
It was,
yes.
but
We'll see if we can get the same heat going.
the fuck Michigan just really rolls off his tongue.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Tourette's. It's just, fuck Michigan.
Okay.
All right.
Getting into it.
All right. Before we do that, though, we do want to recap Houston Christian real quickly.
Yeah, about as fast as we can. Let's put 5 minutes on the clock.
I was going to say about as fast as they decided that they were done with that game.
Jeez.
Although valiant effort, I will say. They did not give up on that game. They played a full game. Mm-hmm. They respected the game itself. And I thought they did all right for who they were.
Their coach was a little nicer than Akron's coach was after the game.
I mean, he seemed like a little bit more PC with it, at least.
I don't want to go over the questions because I performed in our prop bet questions the same as Houston Christian did.
Oh, no.
It was really bad. It was really bad.
Buzz through them fast because I want to hear me not be in last place for the first time.
You were definitely not in last place.
You had a good week overall because you had a good time in the PFF Fantasy League.
All right. Well, I want to hear about it.
What will be higher, Nebraska quarterbacks that throw a pass or third down conversions by Houston Christian? We had 3 quarterbacks to throw a pass. They converted 4 third downs. So Houston Christian wins that one. BJ and the fans got that one right. There will be a redundancy of not hearing my name a lot in who got these right.
How bad was it?
You'll find out at the end. Number of guys with at least 1 catch, 15.5 for Nebraska. It was 11. BJ, Matt, and the fans took the under. They got that one right.
That was the one that you were like, well, I don't want us to all take the same one, so I'm going to take this.
I was just like, screw it. Let's go for 16.
That was.
Sacks by Nebraska's defense, 6.5. They only had 3. Matt and the fans took the under. Houston Christian yards per play. So this one, I really want to kind of be a dick about because I put the number at 3. So how many decimal points do we go on that? Do we go two numbers after?
If it's over, it's over.
No, I know. The number was literally 3.01.
Shut up. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I'm like, well, if I could just go one number after the decimal point, it's a push.
Hey, I would like to point out,
and then nobody gets it right.
I would like to point out how spot on that was, though.
That was crazy.
Good work. Good work on your side of things.
Good
work.
A
lot of times,
and you got it wrong.
Yeah, I did.
A lot of times our numbers are way off from what like national betting props are. That spot fucking on.
Yeah, it was weird. I put it at 3. It was 3.01. BJ and Matt got the over on that one. Forced missed tackles by Nebraska. I had it at 15.5. The number was 9. Everybody took the over, so everybody got that one wrong.
At least you're in the majority on that one there, Jed.
I was. Luke Lindenmeyer receiving yards 49.5. He only had 1 catch for 9 yards. I actually got this one right. So us 3 got the under. We got that one right.
He actually had a rough game all around.
He did. Do we get a kick return for a touchdown? Man, that was close.
I do to go back for real quick on that one. Again, just trying to stick to the whole Kansas City comparisons thing because really Travis Kelce sucked dick since he got engaged too.
Well, Travis Kelce sucked dick for a while.
Shouldn't that be the other way around? But anyway, do we get a kick return for a touchdown? Matt, myself, and the fans said no. So I got 2 right.
Heyo.
Proud of you, Jed.
That'll be the last time you hear my name for the
Oh
rest
no!
of
Oh no!
I didn't realize we had more questions.
I got 2 more questions. Fumbles by Houston Christian, 3.5. They had 4 fumbles. They lost 2 of them. Matt, you were the only one to take the over on that one. And what will be more, Nebraska points scored or Iowa quarterback completion percentage versus UMass? We had 59 points. If we could have just gotten the one other touchdown, it would have made it closer. Gronowski had 66.7% completion percentage, so the Iowa quarterback wins that one.
He actually did an all right job.
BJ, you were the only one to take Iowa on that one. Matt won the week at 6-3.
Nice.
BJ, you were 5-4. The fans were 4-5. I was 2-7.
That's rough.
Three guys that watch it on Facebook or on not Facebook, YouTube. Hunter, he went 4-5. Scott went 3-6, and Emmett also went 3-6. So
Man, you
So
really
everybody
were
beat
the
you
bottom.
this week.
yeah, I was really bad.
Do you even watch Husker football?
Yeah,
Yikes!
it was a really, really bad week for me.
Yikes! Well, we have fun doing these things. Jed, obviously, he tracks these through the whole season. Yeah. So if you can, jump on and throw your comments down there. He'll be tracking yours through the whole season as well.
Yeah, if you put them on the YouTube comments, I'll chart your numbers.
If you have a hard time going back and finding these, or if you don't end up watching the whole show and you still want to participate, you can go out on our Twitter.
Yep.
We do get those posted out there typically the day after the show starts.
All right, we can get rid of all these powder cake games and get into some real fun now.
We're into the real football now.
The masturbation games are over. Jesus, where all you do is play with yourself.
Okie dokie then.
Now we got Michigan as a partner. So
only other thing I want to talk about from the prior 3 games so far, guys, it's been at least a decade plus, if not probably closer to 2, since we actually went through the meat of the entirety of our non-con schedule and did what we were supposed to do the whole time. We played a Power 4 conference team. We beat them on a 1-possession game. Haven't been able to do that for a long time. And then we went ahead and just walked through both of the other downtrodden teams we played.
I said it last week. I said, this is what your crazy uncle and your dad and your grandpa told you about as far as the younger fans that never got to see the glory days. This is what we used to look like against, the teams that we're supposed to beat the shit out of.
And the atmosphere and the feeling and the press conferences and how coaches are talking, and it all just feels more right.
Another thing that Matt was right about last week that we were both wrong about was whether or not the starters were going to play in the second half. Because you said that seems silly, and I'm like, you put them through the halftime so they're used to their halftime routine and getting back out there. They packed them up at halftime.
Yeah, no, they didn't. And half the fans were gone at halftime too. Like it was.
That's unfortunate.
But I liked what Rhule said, where the reason why that they did it this way, as far as just having all the starters sit after halftime, was I wanted the second string guys to sit there in the locker room during halftime and know that they're going out there right now.
Know what it feels like.
That they have to mentally prepare themselves to go out there and play right away. I like how he talked about that.
Yeah, that's why he's a head coach and we are podcasters.
Yeah, no shit.
But good call on that. Enough.
So if you're listening, Coach Rhule, and an analyst spot might be open.
Enough on the past. It is time to move on to the present/future of Michigan.
Fuck Michigan.
Who's going first? We doing offense or defense? I don't care.
Matt can go first.
Yeah, I
We'll
can
kick
take
him
it
off here.
All right. So there's really one big thing about Michigan that's going to make it or break it for them this week, and it's their young quarterback. He's a freshman quarterback, Bryce Underwood.
Mm-hmm.
He's having an okay year so far. He's over 600 passing yards. He's got 2 passing touchdowns. He's also got over 100 rushing yards, so he's a bit of a dual threat. 2 rushing touchdowns, both against Central Michigan last week.
He's a freak.
I was going to say
He's a freak.
He's your athlete.
it's funny how they don't have Sharon Moore, and we read that quote from Sharon Moore at the end of the show last week where he was like, "We don't want to run him because if we run a quarterback, we have to have 2 quarterbacks."
And they went and ran him a whole shitload of yards at Central Michigan.
Sharon Moore sitting at home watching the game, and Biff Poggi is like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot. We're going to run this big horse that we have. And he gets 114 rushing yards in a game. So
So, I mean, he's very talented. The biggest thing we have going for us is he is a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
He does make some mistakes. I think if you're going to look at what he's going to look like at this game, you really got to focus on the Oklahoma game. The other 2 was New Mexico was their first game.
Yep.
And then up against Central Michigan, he looked like anybody would against those teams. So if you're looking at what he did against just Oklahoma, he looks kind of like a freshman. He 142 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown pass.
Especially on the road.
Yeah, on the road in a hostile environment.
Completion rating.
Yeah,
is the tough thing.
He's barely over 50 on the year as is.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched that game. He kind of crumbles when he's getting pressured. He does not like getting hit. So that's the biggest thing that we've got going for us. That,
by
and
the
the
way,
fact that
I don't like getting hit either. So.
Well,
I'm also not a 5-star giant quarterback.
Right. So that coupled with the fact that they have had a couple injuries on their starting offensive line, nothing major. I think they're all intending to play. But that is something to kind of keep an eye on. Their main running back, Justin Hayes, he's had a good year so far. He's just under 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, just about 8 yards a carry. So he's doing a good job. They also have Jordan Marshall. He's contributed pretty well too. So everyone else on their offense kind of looks how you expect a Michigan offense to look. It's just whether or not the quarterback can get them the ball.
Yeah, they don't have a wide receiver over 200 yards yet.
No.
And they've only got one guy with double-digit catches on the season. So
their wide receiver, that Macaulay transfer from Indiana, he's huge. He's 6'5", 215 pounds. Their tight end is 6'5". So I mean, they're
big.
Yeah,
and they kind of rely on chunk plays.
Yes,
that's. I mean, their biggest play in that Oklahoma game to just keep it competitive was 75 yards.
Yep. Well, and that's one of the things with that Justice Haynes, the running back, who I think is really fucking good. But 201 of his 380 something rushing yards is from 3 runs. He has a 56-yarder, a 70-yarder, and a 75-yarder. So yes, he's averaging 7.9 yards per carry. But and I always hate doing this where you take out these big plays. Well, those big plays happen, but if you take out those 3 plays, he's averaging 4 yards a carry. So it literally cuts it in half.
Yeah.
So he's still really good. Those plays happened. The funny thing is, it's literally in one of those runs is in each of the games. It's not like he stockpiled them all up in one game against New Mexico or Central Michigan. So he's bound to probably break one. How big he does against Nebraska, I don't know, but
yeah,
it's always in his back pocket.
One big thing to call out as well, they have not done a good job at getting continuing their drive on third downs. Their third down percentage is in the 30s. So
which bodes well against our Nebraska defense, which is one of the tops in the country as far as third down percentage goes.
So they're kind of an all or nothing offense is what you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And those are your 2 big takeaways is you got to limit the big plays, which means you got to tackle, right? And then get off the fucking field.
On the season, we are allowing 21.1%, which is good for 6th in the country and 1st in the Big Ten. That's impressive. I don't remember the last time we had a Nebraska defense doing shit like that.
Yep.
They are 52nd in the country on offense, converting third downs at 44.7%. So it's going to be an interesting battle there. The other thing that I think you can really look at is from a perspective of what the quarterback's going to do. Yes, Underwood's more talented than Sorsby, but Sorsby's also proven since playing Nebraska that he can throw the ball because he's thrown for over 680
yards
now.
More talented versus more experience.
There's a very big difference there.
That's what that is, yeah.
I will also say that when it comes down to looking at their styles, they're both going to be the guy that's apt to pull it down and run when he sees an opportunity, which we saw could gash us pretty badly against Cincinnati. So I think Michigan's probably watched a lot of that Cincinnati game, as Nebraska has watched a lot of that Cincinnati game and tried to shore some of that up.
Yep.
So it'll be an interesting battle to see from a chess match perspective what the coordinators have done since then for both teams to try and take advantage or not get taken advantage of on that.
Biggest focus I hope our defense has had this week is stopping the run.
Yeah.
Because when you've got a quarterback like that and their running backs are very good, you can't be letting them take big chunk plays on you.
Yeah. Tough stuff. Jed, what do we got on defense?
I mean, we got a familiar name with Ernest Hausmann. Their linebackers are the key to their defense. Which in the last handful of years, it's been their defensive line, but they had a bunch of guys leave.
They put
drafted
two
really
in the
high.
first 2 rounds.
Yeah. But Ernest Hausmann and Jashawn Barham are the 2 leaders on the defense. They're both linebackers. Barham will come off the edge a lot. They do have the potential of former All Big Ten safety from 2 years ago, Rod Moore, who had an ACL injury in the national title game in 2023. He has not played since then. He actually suited up last week, but he didn't actually get into the game. So he is just right on the verge of being able to get back. Obviously highly talented, All Big Ten safety, but he also hasn't played in a year and a half. So, who knows?
Not anticipating him being a factor in this game.
Most
likely.
Him being on the field is going to be a benefit for them either way. Just at least for his experience, but I don't know how effective he'll actually be because, he hasn't played in a long time.
Hausman's their leading tackler on the team so far this year.
Yes, he is. And I might have a question about that later on.
Okay.
They're allowing 62% completion percentage. So, I mean, they're not, the best passing defense in the country. I'm not saying that they're the worst. They're kind of middle of the road in most of their defensive categories.
43rd nationally.
Yeah.
10th in the Big Ten.
They allowed 270 yards passing against Oklahoma. I mean, they've allowed 8 plays to go for 20-plus yards. 7 of them are through the air. So their run defense is still pretty good. Their pass defense is suspect. Nebraska, talking about Nebraska's offense against Michigan's defense, they've had 15 of their 19 plays that have gone 20-plus yards have been through the air. So Michigan has allowed a bunch of plays of 20-plus yards in the air. Nebraska has gained a lot of them. So
kind of goes to our strengths.
Exactly. Conversely, Nebraska has allowed 0 20-plus yard plays through the air. So that's a bonus. They're the only team in the country that have allowed 0 so far this season.
It's crazy.
Sweet.
We're also the number 1 pass defense in the country right now.
Yes. They do have, as much as I said that about their pass defense, they do have 5 interceptions on the season. They got 3 of them against New Mexico.
Ball Hawks.
But still, 5 interceptions through 3 games, I would take it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
No matter who you're playing against, that's pretty good because obviously we haven't played against really good competition and we don't have 5 interceptions through the season. So
7 total takeaways in the season is good for 6th nationally for Michigan. We have 5. We're 26th in the country.
Yep.
We got a lot last week. We got some help last week, including that very sexy scoop and score. So
the only other thing, this isn't really on defense. This is more special teams. They're not very good at punt returns. They've had 7 punt returns for 8 yards. So it's like us.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like us from many moons ago.
From any of the last years that weren't this one?
Exactly. And the returning kicker of the year in the Big Ten has already missed 2 field goals this year. So
that's not a good look for Michigan.
Yeah.
That's a kind of
they
weird
might need
look
those
for
this
Michigan.
week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely maybe. I think one of the biggest things that I would say for looking at their defense, we are going to have to incorporate a lot of, we've talked a lot about a lot of different offenses that we've played in the past few years where we've talked about how they incorporate the short, quick pass game as part of their run game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to line up and run downhill at Michigan's defense this week. No. I
think we're going to try some.
I was just going to say, you can try it, but you can't expect to be.
We're going to try it
because you have to.
We're going to try it because you have to, and I think you're going to see some more movement pre-snap to try and accomplish some of that stuff. But I do feel like you're going to see Dylan Raiola's average yards per attempt go down this week, just simply because there's going to be a lot of that stuff that is, quick mesh right across the line type stuff. You're going to be trying to get Luke Lindenmeyer underneath some guys 2 yards out, trying to just kind of slow up their pass rush that they're going to really try hard to bring at Nebraska. It's going to be an interesting battle. I feel like Daniel Holgerson's probably got the edge in that when it comes to experience and calling a game that is built like this. But that's when I look at everything on their defense, that's the way that I see that this is going to play out, because we're not just going to line up and Emmett Johnson's not going, 1 and 2 right down the middle. That's not happening for us this week, and we don't need to get Emmett Johnson hurt so we don't have him the rest of the season either.
Yeah.
But I mean, you kind of nailed it. This is going to be a war. You need to be able to pull out a bunch of different things in order to try and accomplish this win.
Yeah. My biggest thing, too, outside of that is our struggles inside the 5-yard line, essentially, in the red zone, inside the 10. We've now come away with 3, I think, in the last 2 games that we didn't get any points. Yeah. We're going to have to either get more creative or hope and pray that we score outside of the 10-yard line.
I feel like some of that was intentionally not being creative. I think some of that was keeping it off film.
Being stubborn and trying
I don't know, but we also didn't do it against Cincinnati. So it's, I can get your point, but the fact that we also failed against Cincinnati, a good team, it's still like...
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying...
Yeah, I get it.
Especially in the last 2 games, it doesn't shock me that they didn't pull somebody out or float Lindenmeyer off the side once he hits a block on something like, you know what I mean? Just don't put it on the film if you don't have to. So I don't know. That's just my take.
But by the way, not to derail, but have you seen their coach, Biff Poggi?
Yes.
No.
How much do you want him to look like that? Just by the way, just Google search Biff Poggi image from when he was the head coach at Charlotte. I want him to be wearing a shirt like that on the sidelines.
He looks like your lesbian Aunt Bub.
I don't think they're probably allowing him to do that, because I did see he was wearing a full sleeve T-shirt for the last Michigan game. But
I wonder what his girlfriend's name is.
Jesus.
Well, his real name is Francis Xavier Poggi. I'd be going by Biff too. So
I think we might call him Fran this week. Yeah. What's up, Fran?
Fran has bitch tits.
Jesus.
Again, Alex,
Put that
I
on a
apologize.
cutoff T-shirt.
Bitch tits Michigan.
Love it. Wow. That's amazing.
We're bringing it this week.
That's amazing. That is...
I got you good.
Bitch Tish, Michigan.
There you go.
Fran has bitch tits. It just reminds me of Fight Club. Bob has bitch
That's
tits.
exactly what I was going for.
Yes. He is the Meatloaf character in Fight Club. His name was Robert Paulson.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, this has gone.
This is not exactly how I expected it to.
If this is your first time here, we're good for at least one of these run way off the rails portions of our show. We like to have some fun.
His name is Robert Paulson.
Yeah. Bitch tits Fran. Here we are. Oh boy. To get us back on track, I do want to go ahead and jump in on the old fantasy that we're running here. Matt, what's your update after last week?
It was a confusing week for fantasy in the old Nebraska Football League. BJ, you finally got yourself a win.
Hey,
370 points. I think that's actually the highest point total on the year. Yeah.
Who's my big getters?
Let me pull it back up here. So
Deshaun McCullough.
Deshaun McCullough was a big one. Raiola had a good game. Rocco Spindler had a good game. You didn't have anybody with a bad game.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you didn't have Mekhi Nelson in. He didn't even play.
Yeah.
Was he injured this last week?
No, it was kind of a coach's decision, basically. Yeah, not living up to the standard.
That was an interesting one because he was also listed second on the depth chart.
Did we know that going into the game?
No. I don't think so.
No. Rhule said that he had intention to play him in the second half, and that it was kind of one of those like, the game's far enough out of hand now. I don't need you to play in the second half, so you're just going to get a DNU for the day.
Yeah. He didn't get used, but he was on your bench, so you had a pretty good week all around. I, on the other hand, fucked up a little bit. Well, I didn't really fuck up. He hadn't had a good week yet and Riley Van Poppel had a 93.5 grade.
And he was on
the
your
week.
bench.
He was on my bench. He still only played 14 snaps.
Yeah.
So
You guys think he's heard a little bit of the criticism maybe?
not from us.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing him.
I don't know. Like I said, he only had 14 snaps. I think he just had 14 good snaps this week.
Yeah.
He's not getting used a ton right now.
That's fair.
And so that's a little confusing to me, especially with the jersey
single-digit
number.
guy?
And exactly. So we'll see if that changes a little bit this week against Michigan. But I had a very down week. I only had 313 points. He beat me by 60 points this week.
I finally had a good week.
Yeah, you did.
You did. You only lost by 5.5 points to
Yeah.
BJ.
Yeah.
Luke Lindenmeyer did not have a good game. He was in the 40s.
Yeah.
Elijah Pritchett was in the 50s. For Jed, Dane Key was a great scorer for him. Latovsky was just below 80.
Finally, Latovsky showed up. That was his first game where he's like actually lived up to the hype that he came into the
Did you
season
see
with.
he was on the All Big Ten weekly PFF list?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the left guard for All Big Ten.
Good.
Another interesting one, Keona Davis for the second time this year
Yeah.
did not reach 10 snaps. So that'll
know what's
be an
going on
interesting
there.
one.
That's strange.
I'm not going to whether it's the Keona Davis or anybody else that may or may not be playing as many snaps. We had a lot of guys that didn't play many snaps these last 2 weeks. I'm not
True.
gonna have an overarching opinion on it necessarily.
When you don't have a
just
single
yet.
starter play in the second half,
Exactly.
it lowers some numbers.
Exactly. So, we'll get more into that as the season goes on as far as if those snap counts stay similar.
Yeah. So overall, we had two players in the 90s for PFF, Riley Van Poppel and Williams Winery. Several guys in the 80s, and then Henry Latovsky rounded out the bottom of the top 10 list at 79.5. So
I love seeing two of those D linemen top that list.
Yeah.
That's a very good sign. I realize it's an FCS opponent, but
Don't care.
you can only play who's on your schedule. And when it comes down to it, I think our D line has been better than advertised, at least through these first three games.
It's not just you can only play your schedule. You have to play well.
Yeah.
Like if you don't play well, no matter who you played against, your score is going to go down.
Yeah.
So you have to show up.
it's Van Poppel's first week in the top 10, and it is Winery's second, but only by a hair because he just snuck in that first week. So
That's pretty damn solid for a guy nobody thought was going to play this year.
No shit.
So he's doing good so far, and he's getting snaps. So
Yeah.
And that scoop and score. Oh my, was that fun.
oh yeah,
The funny thing is, when he got the ball and he finally started running, he does not have that, I know I posted, it's always good to see a big man score. He does not run or look like that big man when he was running and scored. He looks like just a beefy tight end kind of.
He only looked that big because of his number.
That's true,
His
too.
the number makes you look bigger.
That's true.
it's true. That's true. Just summarize a little bit. Totals. BJ was the first one to crack 1,000 points on the year.
Heyo.
So he's up there with 1,038. I am literally 0.7 points under.
Wow.
And then Jed, you are trailing behind just a little bit. So
I know.
BJ got his first win.
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm on the board.
There we go.
Are we counting these totals towards our end of year total with the questions? Or
No, this is
Two separate things.
Two separate
things.
Well, I do got to tell you
Jed
guys.
would be doubly fucked if we were doing that.
Yeah, no shit.
This is a really bad week. I do want to tell you guys, I actually got a chance to go in and check out the new West location for Trax Lounge this Sunday. First of all, it's almost impossible if you haven't tried yet. It's almost impossible to try and get in there.
They're busy
at a normal time of day.
Yeah,
it's bigger than the old location, but it is still not very big.
I saw the pictures you sent us. It looks amazing
It's
in there.
set up freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great place to catch a game, and it's I would call it an intimate atmosphere to catch a game because you're not rolling in with 100 people. You're not going to be able to find seating for that. But turns out if you go right at 11 o'clock on a Sunday, when half the town's still in church and the other half's still in bed, you can actually get in. And it was the food's just as amazing as at the old location. And Matt's got some more information for you.
Do you like chicken? Do you like the world's best chicken? I happen to love chicken, and I'm here to tell you, Trax Lounge in Omaha has the world's best chicken, and that's a scientific fact. Actually, ever since 1965, Trax has been proudly serving the world's best chicken right here in Omaha at their original location just north of Center on 1506 South 60th Street. But honestly, their chicken is so good, they've officially flown the coop and opened a second brand new location out in West Omaha on 18111 Hugh Street. If you like your taste buds, you want to treat them right, get over to Trax today and get some of the world's best chicken. If you really like your taste buds, get the hot buffalo mixed with garlic parm.
Let's jump into the questions.
All right.
These are going to be fun this week.
I got a lot of
Fuck
questions.
Michigan week.
Yeah, goddamn right. I got 10 questions this week, so I got a lot of questions.
Heyo.
And it's a lot of what will be more. I'm not going to say higher because then you're going to make your stupid fucking joke. Who will have more total yards? So that's passing and rushing yards. Bryce Underwood or Dylan Raiola? Underwood is averaging 245 per game. He had 141 versus Oklahoma. Raiola is averaging 282 per game. He had 242 against Cincinnati. So,
Matt, I'm going to let you take this one.
So
who will have
pretty
more
similar
yards?
stats. I honestly think the factor in this one doesn't come down to either of them. It comes down to the Nebraska defense. If we're able to get pressures on you literally just said his name.
Underwood. Yeah.
He's going to crumble, as we saw in that Oklahoma game. So I'm going to take Raiola because I think our defense is going to be fucking fired up in this game.
Okay.
Also, one thing I forgot to call out when we were talking about our defense, I saw this stat earlier. Sierra Wright has had over 100 snaps this year so far. He's been targeted 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he's only allowed one catch for 4 yards.
Yeah.
So
And this happens a lot. Usually it's BJ saying it. I might have a Sierra Wright
oh
question.
shit, look at that. I just had to point it out quick. I saw that earlier this week and I was like, this can't be right.
Yeah.
This is insane.
I
That's
saw
an
the
insane
same
stat.
thing, and that's why I put a Sierra Wright question in there.
So he deserves one. He deserves a question.
People
I
just
agree.
won't throw his way.
Yeah.
But he's also like, if you actually actively watch him, he's got his dude locked down on an island like nobody's business.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they're putting out there.
And not to get off this question, but with that conversation, one of the things with Bryce Underwood, some people, and I might be included in this every once in a while, with Dylan Raiola, we want him to, maybe sometimes you got a great wide receiver, just throw it up and see what happens.
Yeah.
Bryce Underwood will do that.
Yeah.
Especially throwing it to 6'5" wide receiver, 6'5" tight end that they have. He is prone to I'm just going to chuck the ball up there and see what the fuck happens.
Hope and pray.
So, do that with Sierra Wright. Let's
yeah, go ahead and go
Please.
after him.
Check it out. Check it out. He can jump through the fucking ceiling.
Yeah.
We've also got I understand that 6'5" and 6'5" sounds like big dudes, but
They are big
this
dudes.
defense is also used to playing against big dudes. We had 2 really big dudes last year that couldn't do shit for us. So there was that. So it's not like they're not used to going up against that type of competition because we had 2 guys that were 6'4", running at wide receiver. At the same time, we also have some big dudes that are going to be able to drape those guys on the back end.
Yep.
You look at Javin Wright, who's 6'3", he covers tight ends extremely, extremely well. You look at Deshaun Singleton, he's going to get a lot of work against those bigger guys this week too. So I'm not scared of their height whatsoever. And if he's going to throw up hope and pray balls, I hope and pray that at some point my favorite back end guy of all time, Malcolm Hartzog, gets a chance at one of those.
Well, I mean,
There's
hell,
another dude who is extremely undersized to go against somebody who's 6'5", but somehow finds himself in the perfect opportunity for those a lot.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the interception that Hartzog had at the end of the Cincinnati game was against that transfer from Lindenwood that was 6'5".
Yeah, they thought they had the matchup on him.
And Hartzog got it. And Hartzog, by the way, is not 6'5".
Yeah.
Not
he's
even
like,
close.
He's like 5'9".
Yeah. So
He might be listed at 5'9", like coming in at 5'4" and a half.
yeah. So yeah.
Was he Bud Crawford?
Sorry to derail your
No,
question.
you're good. You're good. I kind of did the same thing. So
To answer your question, I am going to go with Dylan Raiola as well, and it's going to shock you, but I actually think Dylan Raiola winds up with 60-plus rushing yards in this game.
holy hell.
I don't.
I think he's
Yeah,
going
I
to have
don't
one of those.
either.
I think he's going to get an opportunity with one of those. Their defense is going to have to play a lot deeper with our wide receivers than they've had to play us in the past. And I do feel like there's going to be one of those moments where you see in a Patrick Mahomes type of way where he's looking at the field going, holy shit, my guys are all really well covered, but I have literally acres of space to go run myself and run off one of those 40-yarders that no one can even get back to that side of the field fast enough to catch up with him.
Do you think Michigan will put much credence into what Cincinnati did and put 3 guys deep for a lot of plays? Do that 3 deep cover like Cincinnati did for half the game?
I mean, I'm not saying that they won't, but Michigan plays a certain style defense. That defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale, which I always giggle every time I hear that because that's the old school game show host guy. But he plays his defense.
Okay.
He likes to blitz a lot. You know, he brings pressure all the fucking time. That's the one thing I am worried about as far as, you know, I'm not saying that Dylan is a statue back there, but he doesn't have the mobility of a Bryce Underwood and stuff like that. So I am a little worried about the pressure. Nebraska's only given up 3 sacks this year so far. Granted, they were all against the good defensive line that we saw against Cincinnati.
Right.
So we're going to see another good defensive line. And, you know, that's a little worrisome on my end, specifically for this question on who will have more total yards between Underwood and Raiola. I think it's going to be very, very close. But I think that the passing yards that Raiola is going to get is going to push him over the top. I think Underwood is going to break 1 or 2. I just don't know that he can get enough passing yards against our defense to overtake what Raiola is going to end up doing. So I'm going to take Raiola as well.
There's
All
one
three
thing
across the board on Dylan on that one. That's
I think it's going to be close. I don't think it'll be a good game for both quarterbacks, but I don't think it's...
I'm interested to hear if there are any fans watching right now that are thinking to themselves, no, Underwood's the guy. Like, if you are, drop it in the comments. Even if you're not trying to track all of them and comment along with all of them, drop that in the comments because I'm interested to hear if anybody's going the other way on this.
I think that if you would have asked that question before last week, the answer is going to be completely different. But you see, and granted, I know it was Central Michigan, but you see him running for 114 yards and them kind of taking the shackles off of him. It's a completely different conversation now.
Now, one thing I do question is they did that in that game. They still practiced with their head coach all week. Did somebody get in trouble?
No,
he's not allowed around the
he's
team
not
at all.
allowed in the building.
They aren't having any conversations with him?
Well, who knows? Probably.
He didn't get pissed off at him after the game for letting him run for over 100 yards?
Man, I don't know if you know this or not, but Michigan is extremely, extremely high on their standards.
They follow the rules.
They follow all the rules.
That's true.
The letter of the law.
You guys are right. You guys are right.
They've never even been accused of cheating before. So, I couldn't imagine that Sharon Moore's done anything. He probably didn't have a cell phone this
Especially with a program that hasn't won a national title since 1948.
So you guys and all your facetious comments should probably understand where I'm coming from. Do you think they're going to let him run that much this week?
Well, they should. They should.
I don't know how they anticipate beating us if he doesn't. That at least has to be a threat that he can run. Are they calling a shit ton of design runs? Probably not, but he's going to get out and scramble on us.
You've already said how much they would probably be watching the Cincinnati tape. So, yeah, they're going to have Underwood run. Again, they should.
That's my only question.
I hope that we get to hear John Butler on the podium next week talking about how he looked like a high school quarterback, just like he did after he watched Sorsby.
I would rather have Sharon Moore be the head coach for this game because I think it would be more comfortable win for us because he's a piece of shit. So,
Jesus. All right.
I really wish sometime Jed would tell us how he really thinks.
Yeah.
Fuck Michigan. Question number 2.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. There.
Who will have more all-purpose yards? So that's receiving and rushing yards. Emmett Johnson or Michigan running back Justice Haynes? Emmett is averaging 122 per game. Justice Haynes is averaging 135 per game. He had 120 versus Oklahoma, and remember, 75 of those was in that one run. So, yes, he's averaging 135 per game, but he has those 3 big runs that we talked about earlier. So it's kind of more of like, do you think Justice Haynes is going to break one?
I'm going to go ahead and go first on this one again, if that's cool. I think our defensive run game is a little more suspect than Michigan's. I think there are very similar runners, and so for that, I'm going to take
Justice Haynes.
I'm going to take Haynes on that one.
I'm almost inclined to go with Matt on this because it seems like one of those questions that Matt just took the easy out, and usually he wins on these. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't go against that. The reason
I thought you were going to say I wouldn't be me if I didn't take the homer pick and take Nebraska.
It's also accurate.
That too. It's an all encompassing. Wouldn't be me. But the primary reason that I'm talking about that I think Emmett Johnson is going to be a chip, turn around and catch a ball at least 5 to 10 times in this game. To specifically try and slow down and push back and hold off a little bit of that speed rush that they're going to try and bring on Dylan Raiola. Because as you already pointed out, their defensive coordinator does what he does. He loves to blitz. How do you combat the blitz? Letting a guy get binked once or twice and then tossing the ball right over top of his head and letting Emmett go because everyone else is down the field.
Throw a screen in there.
It's not even necessarily a screen, but literally it's all go. And the middle of the field's wide open because Emmett Johnson is the only dude standing there, and then he's running for a first down easy because they're all trying to scramble back. That's how you combat the rush like that. It's going to be super, super simple. You're going to see the same type of thing happen with Harburg and Lindenmeyer doing quick chips, standing there, turning around, standing right behind the defensive line, catching up with nobody else back there. I personally think Emmett Johnson probably outdoes his passing yards or his receiving yards over his rushing yards, but I think he ends up with probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 to 175 in this game.
I really want to take Emmett in this, but I got to go with Matt and take Justice Haynes. For me, it's kind of more of a prove it situation, not necessarily with Emmett Johnson himself, because I'm really confident in him. It's more about our run defense that I still have not seen enough of, and our rush offense as far as on a consistent basis against a really good team.
Yep.
I still have questions on both of those, so I just have to go with Justin Haynes in this situation.
Is there any part of you that in the back of your mind you're like reimagining the Michigan game from 2 years ago where they ran all over us, or thinking about like Wisconsin circa 10 years ago type shit where we could be looking at our rush defense is bad enough that we're really giving up 300 yards on the ground today?
Yeah.
You think you're thinking kind of like that?
I'm not saying I think it's going to happen, but
I'm saying that
cross my
fear
mind?
is back there a little bit.
It is.
I'm with you a little bit.
Is it some PTSD? Absolutely.
The only reason that I guess I have a little bit better feeling on it is just simply because we know what we're going to get from Michigan from this perspective. We already played a game like that this year, and I have a lot of faith in our middle linebackers.
Yeah.
Just in our linebacker core in general.
Mm-hmm. Question number 3, who will have a better third down conversion percentage? Michigan gains 44%. They allow 43%, so it's basically the same number. Nebraska gets 62%, and they allow 21%. That's not the same number.
Math just screams Nebraska on this
wildly
one.
Not even close to the same number.
I'm just taking math and going with Nebraska. That's an easy pick. I assume it's straight up. Nebraska or Michigan.
Who has the better third down conversion percentage?
I'm also going to take Nebraska in this one.
Okay.
Especially if we're able to get some pressure on Underwood early, he kind of withers.
Yeah, I'm taking Nebraska as well, just because I think that they're going to be able to convert third downs better. Who will have more receiving yards? I took the top 3 guys for Nebraska: Dane Key, Ja'Cory Barney, and Isaiah Hunter. Key has 190 yards. Barney has 181. Hunter has 163 on the season so far. So they're basically 3 of the same guy.
All 3 of them have had their own game to go off, too.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So who will have more receiving yards between those 3 guys?
I'm taking Ja'Cory Barney in this one.
All right.
Primarily because of his work across the middle and his ability to get around the ends on some stuff. They're going to use him in some of that short yardage stuff, and he's a slippery little guy.
He is. Although the bad thing is there's too many times he slips through, but then he just gets that little finger on him and he falls over.
Yeah. Or a blade of grass jumps up in the wrong way.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going with Isaiah Hunter. I think he's going to be our best option for those contested balls, and we're going to be more reliant on that against Michigan this week.
Yeah, I like that pick. He had a strangely down game last week.
He did. I think he was kind of taking a week off.
Well.
At least that's kind of what it felt like to me.
All day today at work when I was thinking about these questions, I was like, okay, well, Matt and BJ are going to split 2 of them, and I'm just going to take the third one and be okay with it.
And be okay.
I'll take Dane Key, who leads the team in
right.
receiving. So,
All right, you're good.
No matter who you were going to leave me with, I was going to be okay with
because it's a viable option.
Exactly.
Now watch. The answer is going to wind up being like Emmett
gonna be
Johnson.
Well, no, it's
Lindenmeyer.
it's between these three
No,
guys.
I know.
But yeah.
I'm just talking about leading the team.
You're-
My
okay,
watch is
yeah,
going to be
yeah,
like
yeah.
Emmett Johnson.
Or like he's Lindenmeyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be Harburg to Raiola for a 99-yard pass.
I will say this. Cortez Mills looks
Yeah.
like a dude.
He's definitely he's going to be fun to watch over the next couple of years.
Not even just because of the long ball that he caught. The routes that he was running did not look freshman level. I was very impressed by what he was doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of, by the way, I don't know if you saw that, he was number 4 on the PFF ratings this week.
Well, how could he not be? He caught all targets.
Yeah, he did great.
Yeah, our backup quarterbacks were perfect. Question number
Timeout. That's actually a really good thing. I meant to make this point at the beginning of the show. Guys, stop it. Nebraska fans love to fall in love with the backup quarterback. I saw
that's
people
fucking weird.
calling for
Okay.
Latif to be taking over the first spot if Raiola struggles this week. Guys, stop. Like, just stop with the silliness.
I have no
We're getting
problem.
made fun of by national Twitter accounts
Which we should be used to.
for Big Ten, not even for other teams, but because our fan base sounds so stupid saying DJ Latif needs to be starting over Dylan Raiola.
So knock it the fuck off.
I have no problem with the conversation. I was going to leave. I was not going to bring it up because, yes, have there been people out there saying it? Yes. Has there been enough from us to acknowledge it? No. But I get.
I'll
I
go
get,
there.
I
I'll
get
go
the
there
point.
with
I
you.
get the
That's
point.
fine.
You know, just because three,
Either way, shut the fuck up.
just because three dumb fucks said it doesn't mean that it's a bunch of us that are saying.
I'm
it.
with you.
But-
Latif
but
looks
yes.
like an exciting future guy, but he's not Dylan Raiola right
Honestly, as far as the whole conversation with TJ Latif, the thing that I'm more like, can you guys just shut the fuck up? Is the conversation of, well, he's definitely going to transfer after this. Like, stop it. Who
now. Yeah.
deal with
You'd
that in
have no
December?
idea. Yeah.
Just
We don't
de-
need to, The sky is not always falling.
God.
Nebraska fans just need to enjoy a little bit of success in the ride right now.
Fuck off. Yeah, have some fun. Jesus.
Also, 3 dumb fucks could totally be a backup name for our show.
We should just change that to our under slogan. Just 3 dumb fucks in a basement.
Yeah, that's true. Question number 5. Turnover margin for Nebraska, plus 0.5. Nebraska is plus 4 on the season, which is so weird to say because we are never that high in the positives. Michigan is plus 5 on the season.
We were plus 5 or 6 early part of last season before it kind
I don't
of
remember.
turned around.
Michigan has gotten at least 2 turnovers in all 3 games. So, plus 0.5 for turnover margin for Nebraska.
I like that you put it at 0.5.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I didn't want to have a push.
And because you put it at 0.5, I have to take the under. I think this is going to be a clean game for both teams.
I'm also taking the under just simply because I could see Raiola throwing a pick or I could see Emmett Johnson losing a ball at the goal line.
Raiola has not thrown an interception yet this year.
No, he's not even really thrown a ball anywhere near close to what an interception should be. He's played very, very clean. But
This is different
this
competition.
is a very different level defense than what we faced. They're going to throw some things at us. He is going to see some pressure that he hasn't seen so far that's going to be, does he hold on to it? Does
And
he get
I
rid of
think
it?
our defense can get some stuff too. But I
Yes.
think it's going to, this whole game to me feels very even. So even that ESPN thinks it's a 50% chance for
Yeah.
both teams. So I think if there's going to be a question like this where one team has an edge, I'm taking the under.
I'm going to have some fun and take the over only because if Underwood is going to throw some of those YOLO balls, just
That's
throwing
true.
it up and
He
see
might.
what happens.
You might.
Maybe we get 2 and maybe we only throw 1 interception or have 1 turnover or whatever else like that. So I'm going to take the over for that reason.
Did he have any turnovers in the Oklahoma game?
I didn't see any.
He's only thrown 1 interception on the season.
I'm also talking about a fumble.
He did not.
Because a guy who runs that much, who's that young,
Well, they weren't running him in that game.
Yeah.
that's true too. Fair enough.
I was going to say, let me get to the game log thing for Michigan.
He threw it last week.
I was just talking about turnovers in the game. They had they did not get a turnover in the they gained 2. They did not lose any against Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with my under on that.
So they were plus 2 against Oklahoma and they got their ass kicked.
Yep.
Let's see. Question number 6, this is the question that I think that the game is going to kind of hinge on. and I kind of talked about it earlier. Who will have the most plays of 20-plus yards? Michigan has 18 on the season. Nebraska has 19 on the season. Again, Michigan has allowed 8 20-plus yard plays, 7 of them through the air. Nebraska has 15 of their 19 through the air as far as gaining them. Nebraska has only allowed 3 20-plus yard plays on the season. They're all on the ground. None of them through the air. So
I got to be honest.
Who will have the most 20-plus yard plays?
I was leaning towards Michigan before
Obviously,
you started
there's the
throwing
push
your
option.
stats.
I'm sorry.
You started throwing your stats at me. You swayed me. I'm taking Nebraska.
Okay.
I'm also taking Nebraska.
God damn it. This is too many.
Well, just simply because I think that we're going to have some explosives in this game in order to win this game.
Yeah.
Because they are going to run the ball on us. They are going to score points against us. We have to have some explosives in order to stay in this game. Plain and simple.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about how I think Justice Haynes is going to break 1 or 2. I mean, at least 1 because he has in every game so far this season.
I would guess Underwood runs 1.
But again, this has to go over 20. I mean, he might break 1 for 10 or 15.
Yeah.
And these have to go
didn't
for
say
over
total
20.
yards, right? You said number of plays over 20 yards.
Yes. And like you said, Nebraska is going to have some big plays through the air. Michigan is susceptible to that by allowing 7 of their 8 so far this season through the air. So I'm going to take Nebraska as well. Question 7, sacks allowed by Nebraska, 2.5. They have allowed 3 on the season, all of them against Cincinnati. Michigan has 7 on the season. They got 1 against Oklahoma. So
That's an interesting stat. I didn't realize they only got 1 against Oklahoma.
Yeah. So 2.5 sacks allowed. Anybody?
I'm waiting on him. I went first last time. I'm afraid of this question. It's good. It's a good number.
Yeah. Like I said, we allowed 3 against Cincinnati, so that's why I kind of.
I'm going to say that I'm going to go under because I think that Dana knows what they're going to do. Dana knows what they're going to bring on the defense. Like you said, he likes to run when he likes to run. I think they're going to have an answer for that. They're going to get probably 2, but I don't see them going over that.
Okay.
I think they're going to go over, but just barely. I think it's going to match similar to what Cincinnati had.
I'm going to go with the under because I think they're going to try to get the ball out of Dylan's hands as quickly as possible. Question number 8. Tackles.
So now we know they're going to have at least 3 because Matt. That's the questions where it's always me and you is where Matt makes up all of his ground.
Sorry,
Trust
guys.
me, that's why I hate agreeing with you.
That's why I hate agreeing with him too.
Question number 8, tackles for loss by Nebraska, 4.5. Michigan has allowed 12. They allowed 8 versus Oklahoma. Nebraska has 19, and they had 2 versus Cincinnati. So 4.5 tackles for loss by Nebraska.
Well, here's the real question. How much do you think we're going to play contain or play with reckless abandon trying to get to him?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a healthy dose of both.
Well, the only reason I ask that is because I could see if we have a better game plan for the quote-unquote high school quarterback, which this guy is previously removed by 3 games from, if we have a better plan of attack than what we had against Cincinnati, that should result in more of those. So I'm going to go ahead and go with over the 4.5, just simply because we're going to get 1 or 2 against the running back, and that's going to be that. The other thing is how much, and I haven't, truth be told, I have not watched enough of Michigan's offense to know if this is part of it or not, but I know that in a game, especially against really good downfield DBs, there's going to be a lot of those swing pass, screen out type plays that I would imagine we catch 1 or 2 behind the line. It's going to be interesting. We'll see.
Before you go, Matt, I'm going to go with the under only because I'm going to go back to I still need our run defense to prove it to me against a quality opponent, and then we'll go from there for the rest of the season.
I agree with a lot of what BJ said. Honestly, he kind of took some of the words out of my mouth. I'm thinking over on this one. And the reason I'm thinking over on this one is because and this is more hopeful. I think the theme for this week should be aggressive. Just watching that game that Michigan had against Oklahoma punched them in the mouth and then were able to kind of do whatever they wanted for the majority of that game.
Yeah.
And I think that should be our mindset is I might not get there I might not get there and sack him, but I'm going to fuck the quarterback up right after he throws the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff. And so I think we're going to have a good opportunity for some plays in the backfield.
Okay.
Give a welcome to the Big Ten moment.
Yeah, a little bit.
Question number 9. This is the Sierra Wright question. How many times will Michigan target Sierra Wright? I put it at 2.5. He has been targeted 4 times on the season, allowing 1 catch for 4 yards.
I think the freshman quarterback's going to make some mistakes and go over on that one.
I was already thinking to myself that he has to get thrown to eventually.
Yeah.
So I'm going over just because, just math. They're not going to be able to just. I think they're going to run the ball on us pretty effectively. They're not going to be able to not throw the ball. And if Sierra Wright's on their number one guy, they don't have a ton of other options out there. It doesn't look like so.
No.
That's where I'm going.
Freshman quarterback are across the board. They're guilty of having a favorite receiver. Sierra Wright's going to be on that favorite receiver, and he's not going to be able to default away from him. I don't think so. I think he's going to be over.
So not to kind of completely tip my hand a little bit, because I also have not solidified my prediction yet, but I'm going to take the over because I think that maybe they're going to have to throw the ball to catch up later in the game, and that will end up making the over for Sierra Wright. The last question I have, question number 10, who will have more tackles? I basically just picked the 2 tackle leaders for both teams. Ernest Hausmann, former Nebraska player, or Deshaun Singleton for Nebraska. Hausmann is averaging 6.6 per game. He had 11 versus Oklahoma. Singleton is averaging 4 per game. He had 7 against Cincinnati.
Math, Houseman. I don't have a good feeling one way or the other on that one.
Okay.
I'm also going with Houseman because of the
Now, I
fact that
agree
he's
with-
playing in Lincoln.
I agree with the math and all that stuff, but you got to. Singleton hasn't played much in the last 2 games, so as far as his number, his average per game is drastically lower because
I get it.
less snaps. So.
I get it.
What did he have against Cincinnati?
Singleton, he had 7,
It's 7.
and you're taking Hausman as well, or you still deciding, or
Fuck it. I'm going to make a me picking and go against Matt and take. I do think Hausman's going to have a good game.
yes, he will.
He's going to need to.
He played well in Lincoln last time they were here 2 years ago. He knows the stadium. He'll have a ton of family in the stands. He's in
the
Nebraska.
stadium is going to be a very different feel to him this year than it was a couple of years ago.
That's fair.
Which, by the way, I don't know if none of us really watch College Game Day, but if you haven't seen the little tidbit on Ernest Hausmann, I think it was last week that they aired. Holy shit, go back and watch it. That dude is such a good fucking kid.
Is he?
Oh my God.
All right. Fuck most of Michigan.
No, fuck him too because he left us.
Yeah, no, he's a Michigan man now, so sorry. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And as I say, fuck you, I'm taking Hausman. Just because I think he's going to be all over the place. Singleton will be as well. I think Singleton has a very good shot at double-digit tackles, but I'm going to go with Hausman. And that's all I got.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Kicking off at 2:30 on Saturday in Lincoln. It's supposed to be 77 degrees, mostly clear, not real windy.
A good day for a game.
We are the new spot that they're trying to. There was a lot of talk this week about how they've done a good job of the Big Ten has done a good job scheduling this year, trying to kind of take away some of the shine from the SEC. I think the SEC is doing some of that to themselves by looking like shit week after week too. But as far as that goes, like this is the game that if Nebraska had gotten a little more respect preseason in the polls, I think that this would have been a ranked versus ranked team. And we probably would have seen game day, would have seen big noon kickoff type stuff here in Lincoln. Josh Pate thinks it's the game of the week, so he's coming down here. The Bussin' with the Boys, this is the Bussin' Bowl for them.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be, the inner fight when it comes to that bus. But I'm excited about it. It's kind of crazy. The line originally opened right after both games finished on Saturday night at a -1 even for Michigan. by the time it got listed on ESPN, by the time it got listed on most major sites on Sunday morning, it was coming out at a -2.5, favoring Michigan with an over-under low. They're thinking 44.5 points. The analytics, if you go look at pretty much any site out there, it has it anywhere between about a 10% swing. ESPN originally started with Nebraska at a 53.1% chance on Saturday night, and it's quickly on Sunday morning, someone who was like, hey, that looks ridiculous. We got to switch this. It's a 50.3% chance for Nebraska, basically just giving them the home field advantage on that side of things. They think this is evenly matched statistically. I think the tail of the game is going to be whether or not we can get to Bryce Underwood. By making this a replica of the first half, at least the first quarter of the Colorado game circa last year. Mm-hmm. There has to be massive electricity in the stadium. I think that's going to happen. We've got the 95 team coming back to celebrate their 30 years, greatest team in college football history. There's going to be a lot of pregame fanfare for that. I think the stadium is going to be absolutely juiced. When you see the way that Colorado got, as Matt already talked about, Oklahoma punched them in the mouth and they couldn't do anything the rest of the game. We have to have a Tommy Hill pick six from the 10-yard line type of punch you in the mouth moment that makes the crowd go absolutely insane, and watch whether or not Michigan, who's missing their head coach, who's missing all of the major coaching pieces from that national championship game 2 years ago, if they can put it back together in probably one of the biggest environments they're going to play in this year. Yes, these guys are used to playing at Ohio State every year. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be massively rattled, but energy is energy, and there's not much better than what we've seen in college football across the board than that Colorado, especially first half last year. Yeah. If we can replicate that, if we can go up a score or two on them early in this game, I don't think they have enough on offense to come back on us. I'm taking Nebraska to cover. I know you guys are all shocked. I actually think this game is going to go under, because from a scoring perspective, I think Michigan is going to have a little bit harder time scoring than expected, even though they're going to put up a lot of yards on the ground.
I think the clock is going to run the whole game, too. It's going to be a lot of short passes and a lot of running the ball for both teams.
Yeah. I could see Dylan Raiola throwing it 45 times in this game.
I think the -2.5 makes sense because they're evenly matched. I don't think either direction it's going to be even close to a one-score game. I think one of these teams is going to get up early and stay up, and that will be how the game goes. So I don't expect this to be a fourth quarter nail biter. We're going to be either up by 2 touchdowns or down by 2 touchdowns.
So over under total.
Nebraska's fucking Michigan up this week.
Whoa. So but the over under total.
Probably under.
Okay.
I don't expect it to be super high scoring. Mid to upper 20s for the winning team, low teens for the losing team.
First and foremost, fuck Michigan. Michigan, you basically act like you invented the sport because you have the most wins out of everybody else in college football, but you also, don't play anybody forever, and you haven't won a national title since 1948, so you can kiss my ass because you haven't shown anything. But I think this game is actually going to be close in the fourth quarter. I think the key to this game is those big plays that either one side doesn't give up and the other side does get. For instance, our offense getting big plays as opposed to our defense not giving up big plays. I think we have to score early, and just to take pressure off, not necessarily to put pressure on them, but to take pressure off of us, to keep the crowd excited like you were kind of talking about. Because I think that if we get down early, it's going to be the shit, here we go again sort of mentality. We have to score early. I think we will score early. I think it's going to be over on that 44.5 total. I think there will be a good number of points in this game on both sides, but there's never going to be a situation where I pick Michigan to win a fucking football game or any other. They could play fucking tiddlywinks on the sidewalk. I don't give a flying fuck.
Is that what we're calling Notre Dame these days?
Oh, but so again, Fuck Michigan. You can eat my ass. Go Big Red.
And this may be the most unbelievable night in Cornhusker football history.